Have you ever wondered why certain dreams feel more real than your waking life? That moment when you wake up with your heart racing from an encounter so vivid, it leaves an emotional imprint that lingers throughout your day. What Carl Jung discovered about this mysterious realm challenges everything modern society has taught you about the nature of consciousness and reality itself. The portal you enter every night without knowing isn't merely a biological function. It's an ancient spiritual technology for accessing dimensions of wisdom that transcend ordinary perception. While science reduces your dreams to random neural firings and psychological processing, Jung uncovered something far more profound, a sacred gateway to the collective unconscious where universal wisdom speaks through a symbolic language older than words. This revolutionary understanding explains why dreams across diverse cultures share striking similarities in their archetypal patterns and transformative potential. What if these nightly journeys aren't meaningless sleep stories, but rather soul expeditions into realms where time operates differently and consciousness exists beyond physical limitations? The most powerful truth about this portal remains hidden. In plain sight, it offers direct access to parts of yourself deliberately separated from conscious awareness, including your most authentic desires, unacknowledged gifts, and deepest spiritual connection. Society conditions you to dismiss these profound inner experiences, keeping you disconnected from your complete being and spiritual birthright through cultural programming that devalues dream wisdom. Yet, throughout human history, the most innovative, creators, visionary leaders, and spiritual pioneers have cultivated conscious relationship with this dimension, receiving innovations and insights that transformed civilization. What makes this knowledge particularly relevant today is how perfectly it aligns with cutting-edge quantum science, which increasingly describes reality in terms similar to ancient mystical traditions, interconnected fields rather than separate objects, observer-dependent manifestation, and multidimensional frameworks beyond conventional space-time limitations. By learning to navigate this portal consciously, you reclaim an essential aspect of your humanity, deliberately obscured by materialist worldviews, activating latent abilities for spiritual perception, intuitive knowledge access, and psychological integration that facilitate genuine evolution into your complete self beyond artificial limitations and fragmented identity. In the mysterious realm between consciousness and the unknown, Carl Jung discovered a portal we all enter without awareness, the gateway to our dreams. Each night, as your conscious mind relinquishes control, you unknowingly step through this threshold into a dimension where symbols speak and archetypes dance in the theater of your unconscious. This dreamscape isn't merely random neural activity, but rather a sacred space where your soul communicates through a language older than words, revealing truths your waking mind often refuses to see. The ancient civilizations understood this profound connection, treating dreams not as meaningless sleep stories but as divine messages and spiritual journeys. From Egyptian dream temples to Native American vision quests, cultures across time recognized that this nightly portal offers access to wisdom beyond ordinary perception. Jung's revolutionary work expanded on these ancestral insights, demonstrating how our dreams operate as bridges between our conscious existence and the vast collective unconscious that connects all humanity through universal symbols and archetypal patterns. What makes this nocturnal gateway so powerful is its ability to bypass the ego's defensive barriers, allowing repressed emotions, hidden desires, and unacknowledged truths to emerge through symbolic representation. Your dreams. Don't lie. They present your authentic self with remarkable clarity, often revealing aspects of your psyche you've spent years avoiding in waking life. This raw honesty explains why dream work becomes transformative for those who learn to interpret their personal dream language and integrate these revelations into conscious awareness. The synchronicity between dream symbols and real-world events further demonstrates the metaphysical nature of this portal, suggesting that dreams transcend conventional understandings of time and space. Jung documented countless cases where dreamers received information impossible to obtain through normal means, From precognitive dreams predicting future events to symbolic encounters with deceased loved ones that provided healing closure, this mysterious connection hints at dimensions of consciousness that extend beyond material reality, offering glimpses into the quantum spiritual nature of human existence. The shadow aspect of our psyche serves as the primary gatekeeper to this mysterious dream world, determining which unconscious content rises to the surface during sleep. This psychological construct, which Jung identified as the repository of everything we reject about ourselves, actually holds tremendous creative power when properly acknowledged and integrated. Within your shadow dwells not only your suppressed negative traits, but also undeveloped positive qualities that haven't found expression in your conscious life. Artistic talents, leadership abilities, and spiritual gifts waiting to be claimed. Dream work represents one of the most direct pathways to engage with this shadow realm, as nightmares particularly reveal aspects of yourself seeking urgent recognition. Those recurring dreams that leave you terrified, whether being chased, falling, or finding yourself unprepared for an important event, aren't random fear scenarios, but meaningful communications from neglected parts of your psyche. Each frightening dream figure embodies an aspect of yourself seeking acknowledgement. Each threatening situation symbolizes an unresolved emotional conflict demanding resolution through conscious awareness and integration. What makes Jung's approach to dream interpretation revolutionary is his departure from Freud's predominantly sexual framework toward a more spiritually enriching understanding of unconscious symbolism. Rather than viewing dreams merely as disguised wish fulfillment, Jung recognized them as purposeful communications from the self, the organizing center of the total personality that encompasses both conscious and unconscious dimensions. This distinction elevates dream work from mere psychological analysis to sacred inner alchemy, where symbols act as transformative agents, initiating profound spiritual development when properly engaged and assimilated into waking consciousness. The Kai, archetypal figures encountered in dreams, the wise elder, the divine child, the trickster, the great mother, reveal universal patterns of human experience transcending cultural boundaries and historical eras. Jung discovered these same symbolic representations across vastly different civilizations and time periods, suggesting their origin in a collective unconscious shared by all humanity. By recognizing and building relationships with these inner figures through active imagination and dream dialogue, you gain access to ancient wisdom embedded within human consciousness itself, accelerating your spiritual evolution and unlocking hidden dimensions of your psyche. Awakening to the reality of your dream world requires developing what Jung called active imagination, a meditative technique bridging conscious awareness with unconscious content. Unlike passive daydreaming, this disciplined practice involves maintaining conscious awareness while allowing unconscious material to emerge naturally, creating a dynamic dialogue between your everyday self and the mysterious inner figures populating your dreamscape. Through consistent application, this method gradually dissolves the rigid boundary between waking and dreaming states, enabling conscious access to the portal you unknowingly enter each night. The synchronistic phenomena that often accompany serious dream work provide compelling evidence for the metaphysical dimension of this inner journey. As you deepen your relationship with dream symbols, you'll notice these same motifs appearing with uncanny frequency in your external reality, a process Jung termed synchronicity, or meaningful coincidence. These events transcend mere chance, suggesting an underlying connection between psyche and matter that challenges conventional scientific paradigms about the nature of reality itself, pointing toward a universe where consciousness plays a fundamental role in creating what we experience as objective reality. Entering this portal with awareness activates what ancient alchemists called the philosopher's stone, the transformative agent catalyzing spiritual enlightenment and psychological wholeness. Jung recognized that medieval alchemy, far from being merely primitive chemistry, actually encoded profound wisdom about psychological transformation through symbolic language and mystical imagery. The alchemical processes of calcination, dissolution, separation, and conjunction perfectly describe the stages of inner development experienced during conscious dream work, revealing how this ancient tradition preserved sacred knowledge about the soul's evolution through carefully disguised metaphors and emblematic illustrations. Your resistance to exploring this dream world portal often stems from the ego's fear of dissolution, the terrifying yet necessary experience of surrendering familiar identity constructs to access deeper levels of psychic reality. This existential anxiety explains why many people actively avoid remembering dreams or dismiss them as meaningless mental debris, unconsciously protecting themselves from confronting the vastness of their own inner cosmos. Yet this avoidance comes at tremendous cost, cutting you off from the wellspring of creativity, intuition, and spiritual guidance available through regular communion with your dream dimension. The collective unconscious represents the deepest layer accessed through the dream portal, containing wisdom accumulated throughout human evolution and possibly beyond. Jung's controversial theory proposed that certain primordial images and ideas aren't individually acquired but inherited as part of our species' psychological structure, explaining the universal appearance of specific symbols across isolated cultures. When you encounter archetypal figures in dreams, the hero confronting a dragon, the wise elder offering guidance, the divine child embodying new potential, you're connecting with ancient patterns of experience that have shaped human consciousness. Since its emergence, dreams involving spiritual initiation often mark significant transitions in psychological development, frequently appearing during major life crises or spiritual awakenings. These powerful experiences typically include symbols of death and rebirth, descent into underworld realms, encounters with divine beings, or bestowal of special gifts or knowledge. Though modern culture lacks formal recognition of these psychic initiations, your unconscious mind continues generating these transformative scenarios according to templates established in ancestral traditions, guiding your soul's evolution through symbolic experiences that parallel the sacred rites practiced in ancient mystery schools. The mysterious phenomenon of mutual dreaming, where multiple dreamers share verifiably similar dream experiences, suggests dimensions of the dream world transcending individual subjectivity. Jung documented numerous cases where patients reported dream encounters with others who independently confirmed similar experiences, challenging materialist explanations of dreams as merely personal neural activity. These shared dream spaces hint at interconnected fields of consciousness where separate individuals can meet and interact in non-physical reality, supporting esoteric teachings about the multidimensional nature of human experience and the existence of subtle energy realms, accessible during altered states of consciousness. Learning to navigate this dream portal consciously represents one of humanity's most ancient spiritual technologies, preserved in shamanic traditions worldwide as techniques for soul travel and communion with non-physical entities. From Tibetan dream yoga to Australian Aboriginal dreamtime practices, indigenous cultures developed sophisticated methods for maintaining awareness during dream states, allowing practitioners to explore spiritual dimensions with purpose and clarity. These approaches view dreams not as passive experiences happening to you, but as active opportunities for spiritual exploration, healing interactions, and accessing knowledge beyond physical limitations through deliberate engagement with the symbolic language of the soul. The mandala symbolism appearing spontaneously in dreams represents a powerful sign of psychic integration and spiritual alignment. Jung observed these circular designs emerging during periods of intense psychological transformation, viewing them as visual representations of the self-archetype, organizing chaotic psychic content into meaningful patterns. When these sacred geometrical forms appear in your dreams, they signal an important unification process occurring in your unconscious, bringing previously fragmented aspects of your personality into harmonious relationship with the central organizing principle of your being. Achieving dream lucidity, the awareness that you're dreaming while remaining in the dream state, represents the ultimate threshold in conscious dream work. This extraordinary state offers unprecedented freedom to explore the boundaries between different dimensions of consciousness, interacting directly with dream figures and environments with full awareness. Ancient esoteric traditions recognized this achievement as spiritually significant, teaching practitioners to use lucid dreaming as a preparation for the death transition and subsequent navigation of after-death states, where similar consciousness abilities prove essential for maintaining identity coherence amid the dissolution of physical reference points. The profound neurological similarities between mystical experiences and dream states suggest a common mechanism underlying both phenomena. Modern brain imaging studies reveal striking parallels in neural activity patterns during deep meditation, psychedelic experiences, and REM sleep, indicating these diverse states access similar dimensions of consciousness through different entry points. This convergence explains why dream symbols so frequently appear in spiritual visions and mystical revelations across traditions, pointing toward an underlying unity in human spiritual experience across seemingly different practices and paths of awakening to non-ordinary reality. Your dream life serves as the primary workshop for individuation, Jung's term for the lifelong process of psychological integration leading to authentic selfhood. Through repeatedly entering this portal with growing awareness, you gradually reconcile opposing forces within your psyche, transforming internal conflicts into creative partnerships among the diverse aspects of your personality. This inner alchemy doesn't eliminate psychological polarities, but establishes dynamic balance between them, creating psychological wholeness that manifests as increased creativity, expanded compassion, and access to previously untapped resources of wisdom and intuition through conscious relationship with your complete inner ecosystem. The anima and animus archetypes function as primary guides through the dream portal, embodying the contrasexual aspects of your psyche seeking recognition and integration. For those identifying primarily with masculine consciousness, the anima appears as female dream figures, representing qualities like intuition, emotional sensitivity, and relational connection that may be underdeveloped in waking life. Conversely, those with feminine-oriented consciousness encounter the animus as masculine dream characters, embodying logical thinking, assertiveness, and philosophical meaning-making capacities, demanding expression through conscious channels. Dreams, featuring sacred architecture, temples, cathedrals, ancient ruins, or mysterious structures, reveal the blueprint of your psycho-spiritual development. Jung documented how these architectural symbols typically reflect the dreamer's inner psychological structure, with different rooms and levels corresponding to various aspects of the personality. Underground chambers frequently represent unconscious. Content towers symbolize intellectual or spiritual aspirations, while central spaces often display imagery of the self-archetype organizing the psyche around a unifying center. These dream buildings offer invaluable guidance about your current psychological state and potential developmental pathways toward greater wholeness. The mysterious experience of precognitive dreams, where future events appear in dream form before occurring in waking reality, suggests the dream portal operates outside conventional temporal limitations. Jung collected substantial documentation of dreams, accurately predicting events beyond chance probability, leading him to propose that the collective unconscious exists partially outside linear time, allowing occasional glimpses of probable future scenarios through symbolic dream representations. This phenomenon challenges materialistic paradigms about the nature of time and causality, pointing toward multidimensional models of consciousness where past, present, and future coexist simultaneously in different frequency ranges of a unified field. Water symbolism in dreams provides crucial information about your emotional state and relationship with the unconscious realm itself. Clear, flowing water typically indicates healthy connection with feelings and intuitive wisdom, while polluted or threatening water often reveals emotional disturbances or overwhelming unconscious content seeking conscious integration. Jung noted that dreams featuring large bodies of water, oceans, lakes, rivers, frequently mark important transitions in the individuation journey, as these powerful symbols represent the vast unconscious matrix from which conscious identity emerges and with which it must maintain proper relationship for psychological health and spiritual evolution. Dream journaling represents the most accessible entry point for anyone seeking to develop conscious relationship with this nighttime portal, this simple yet powerful practice involves recording dream content immediately upon waking, before the fragile images dissolve back into the unconscious depths. Regular documentation gradually sensitizes your awareness to dream patterns and personal, symbolic language, revealing recurring themes and characters serving important functions in your psychological ecosystem. Over time, this practice builds a fascinating personal mythology documented in your dream journal, providing invaluable insight into your soul's evolution across months and years of inner development. The phenomenon of therapeutic dreams often appears during psychological crises, offering guidance when conscious problem-solving fails to resolve complex life situations. Jung documented numerous cases where pivotal dreams provided crucial direction at critical junctures, presenting symbolic solutions that conscious deliberation couldn't access due to habitual thought patterns or emotional blocks. These healing dreams frequently feature archetypal wisdom figures, delivering specific messages or mysterious objects containing transformative power, demonstrating how the unconscious actively promotes psychological wholeness by sending precisely calibrated symbolic communications when most needed. Cross-cultural dream practices reveal fascinating similarities, despite vast geographical and historical separation, suggesting universal patterns in how humans relate to the dream dimension. From Native American vision quests to Australian Aboriginal dreamtime traditions, from Tibetan dream yoga to West African ancestral dream communion, diverse cultures developed sophisticated frameworks for understanding dreams as spiritual communications. With practical significance for community well-being, these traditions share core recognition of dreams as legitimate sources of healing information, creative inspiration, and spiritual guidance when properly interpreted within culturally appropriate contextual frameworks, honoring the sacredness of this mysterious portal. The striking correspondence between dream symbolism and quantum physics concepts points toward emerging understanding of consciousness as fundamental rather than epiphenomenal to material reality. Leading-edge theoretical physics increasingly describes reality in terms strikingly similar to ancient mystical traditions, interconnected fields rather than separate objects, observer-dependent manifestation, non-local causality, and multidimensional reality frameworks. Jung's concept of the psychoid archetype, existing simultaneously in both psyche and matter, anticipated this convergence, suggesting that dreams access a unified field where mind and matter emerge from common source, explaining how dream symbols can meaningfully coincide with physical events through a causal connecting principles underlying both domains. Dream incubation, the ancient practice of intentionally seeking guidance through dreams, offers a methodical approach to accessing specific information from the unconscious realm. This technique, practiced in Greek healing temples and numerous indigenous traditions, involves clearly formulating an important question before sleep while creating sacred space through ritual preparation. Modern research confirms this approach significantly increases the likelihood of receiving relevant dream guidance, particularly when combined with sincere psychological openness and proper preparation through meditation or contemplative practices, establishing receptive consciousness prior to sleep. The symbolic death-rebirth sequence represents one of the most transformative dream experiences in the individuation journey, often marking major life transitions and spiritual initiations. These powerful dreams typically involve complete dissolution of familiar identity constructs, followed by emergence of new, expanded consciousness, symbolized through burial, dismemberment, drowning, or other death imagery, followed by resurrection, reassembly, or emergence from water. Jung recognized these dream narratives as modern expressions of ancient initiation mysteries, where ritual death experiences facilitated genuine transformation through surrender of outgrown identity structures, allowing authentic rebirth into more inclusive self-understanding and expanded spiritual awareness. Dream telepathy research conducted under controlled scientific conditions provides compelling evidence for Jung's controversial theory of interconnected consciousness. Studies at prestigious research institutions have documented statistically significant results, demonstrating dreamers' ability to incorporate elements from distant target images without sensory contact, challenging conventional understanding of consciousness as entirely brain-bound. These findings support Jung's model of the collective unconscious as a shared dimension of mind transcending individual boundaries, suggesting dreams facilitate access to information fields extending beyond personal memory and sensory experience. Through non-local consciousness dynamics, still inadequately understood by contemporary science. The fascinating phenomenon of creative problem-solving during dreams reveals how this portal accesses knowledge beyond conscious awareness. Scientific history contains numerous documented cases where transformative insights emerged through dreams, from Kekulé's discovery of the benzene ring to Mendeleev's periodic table arrangement, from Einstein's relativity visualizations to countless artistic and musical compositions transmitted through dream states. These breakthroughs demonstrate that during dream consciousness, your mind processes information holistically rather than linearly, accessing intuitive knowledge synthesis unavailable to waking rationality, constrained by logical sequential thinking, revealing dreams as legitimate channels for transpersonal wisdom rather than merely personal psychological projections. As we've journeyed through the mysterious landscape of the dream portal that Jung illuminated, we've discovered that this nightly threshold represents far more than random neural activity. It's your direct connection to dimensions of consciousness beyond ordinary awareness. The powerful symbols, archetypal figures, and transformative experiences encountered in dreams aren't meaningless fantasies, but purposeful communications from your complete self, offering guidance that transcends the limitations of rational thinking and cultural conditioning. The ancient wisdom traditions understood what modern psychology is only beginning to rediscover, that dreams serve as essential bridges between different levels of reality, allowing communication between your conscious identity and the vast collective unconscious that connects all beings through shared symbolic language. By developing conscious relationship with this portal through practices like dream journaling, active imagination, and symbolic interpretation, you activate a profound transformation process that integrates fragmented aspects of your psyche into a more authentic and expanded sense of self. What makes this inner work so crucial in today's world is its capacity to reconnect you with genuine spiritual experience beyond religious dogma or institutional frameworks. The dream portal offers direct mystical communion without intermediaries, allowing personal verification of non-ordinary dimensions through experiences that challenge materialistic worldviews while enhancing psychological wholeness. Through this sacred gateway, you rediscover what indigenous cultures never forgot. That reality extends far beyond physical appearance, and consciousness participates in creating what we perceive as objective existence. I invite you to begin this transformative journey tonight. Place a journal beside your bed, set a clear intention to remember your dreams, and welcome the wisdom waiting beyond the threshold of sleep. Share in the comments which aspect of dream exploration most resonates with your experience, or which symbolic patterns frequently appear in your own dream world. Subscribe to continue exploring these fascinating dimensions of consciousness in our next exploration, appearing on your screen now, where we'll delve deeper into Jung's revolutionary understanding of synchronicity and how meaningful coincidences reveal the spiritual nature of reality itself.